Hey friends, welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey Hearties, welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host Nicole, joined by my co-host and friend Brennan and our friend Catherine from the RomCom experience to talk about When Calls the Heart, Season 12, Episode 3, All That Glitters. It was written by Paul Redford and directed by Elise Lee Rogers. Elizabeth and Nathan uncover Oliver's secret, and Rosemary worries Lee has a secret of his own. Allie's interest is piqued when Earl Wyatt returns to town. What were your first impressions on this episode?
Brennan?
Well, I think this was we're only 3 episodes in, but I think this was my favorite episode so far. I just thought storyline wise, the pacing was done really well. And it seemed like every character had good screen time, strong storylines. I really enjoyed everything about this episode. It was pretty perfect.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mine is just, is it hot in here?
I think that the choo-choo train has arrived.
Locomotive is here.
I'm sorry, things happened before the last 2 minutes or a minute and 47 seconds. No, it was, I agree with Brennan. It was well paced. You can tell, every storyline, it all had purpose to blend in together or in their position of what that story is that it's going to start, so overall, I agree. It was it's ranking number 1 out of the 3 for me so far this season.
Yes. My question is, and we'll talk about it once we get to Nathan and Elizabeth, but if this is episode 3, what fire awaits us with them the rest of the season? Like,
she promised steamy.
She did.
Yep.
It's happening.
It's happening.
I think we're already in cheetah mode. We've gone from sloth to cheetah in like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh,
5, if you count episode 11 of season 11.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yep. Sloth is long gone. Bye-bye, Sloth.
They had a momentary sloth moment episode 2, let's be honest. And then now we're back to like winning the race.
Sloth made an appearance episode 2.
We're good now.
Oh my gosh. Also, before we move on, I think we need to give some props to Elise for her directing and Paul for his writing, because Paul did a great job with the writing.
Yes. Great comment.
Elise?
Raise the roof.
A++++.
A++ on the chalkboard. She is a fantastic director.
Yeah. Incredible.
Let's hope that no one else scoops her up. A big production company.
Keep it when calls, Elise. Keep it when calls.
Please.
Just well, it's very interesting. Out of curiosity, they don't they really, this last 2 years, I don't think that they've had the same director do more than 1 block. I don't think there was a repeat in the directing, so it's interesting how they do that.
Yeah I didn't know that.
But moving on to Lucas and the national park, what did you all think about that first scene with Lucas and Edwin when Lucas got the call from one of the chairmen? His name's Mr. Ledbetter, and he says no to the proposal because the proposed parkland is too large. Of course, Edwin still wants to go with something smaller, but Lucas now has, I guess, given it some thought, and he doesn't want to go back on his word to Lee.
Well, as a scene as a whole, I thought the comedy part of it was really great. And it's really giving that story for Lucas of how torn he is, with politics versus,
Yeah.
you know, family and friends. And
Yeah.
you know, because it would be if Lee's already mad at him, you know, kind of a thing, it would be an easy thing to be like, oh, okay, you know, like, well, what's, you know, point, but that's he values that friendship and that relationship so much more that he's, yeah, like you said, he's not willing to go back. And then I just thought, as actors, both Eric and Chris brought some great comedy to it, especially when the door got opened. And
that was hilarious.
He isn't winning, obviously, at this point.
No.
You know, he's still trying to get his win, but it's giving him some real struggles that a lot of us have to deal with, you know. So yeah.
And that was hilarious when he's trying to get away from the press and he kind of sneaks out the back door.
And he's like, I refuse to be, you know, like I think somewhere along the lines of like, I refuse to not be seen, or what, how did he say it? Like he wasn't going to sneak out the door at the beginning because he's like, kind of like, I'm not hiding or whatever. And then once they were barging in, he's like, oh, never mind.
No.
I love when they're trying to hold the door and they both kind of give each other that look and they go like this, like, okay. And then Edwin is holding it and he kind of grunts like,
yeah.
Yes, that was great.
That was hilarious.
And I was also kind of surprised that the trial with Jeanette was brought up again, because I didn't think that we'd hear about that again.
Yeah.
Especially because really, in all honesty, too, not that much time has passed. So if you think about it, because
maybe about a month or two.
Yeah, so I mean, it pretty quick, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll come back up again. I don't know.
I hope we see her again because, you know, as a character, you do want to see the Black Widow come back and try to get her claws into what she can't and things like that. It could be a lot of fun.
Yes, and she is a fantastic actor. Yeah. I don't love what her character did, but I love her as an actor. She was on one of the Signed Sealed movies as a supporting background actor, and she did a great job in her role. She was in the one, I don't know if you've seen it, Catherine, about the vase. Home Again.
I've seen them all. I have to go back and rewatch and figure out what the actual storyline is. But
the one about the farm.
You'd be so okay. You'd be so proud of me. I went and watched them all. And they're really, really, really good. I didn't have Hallmark movies and mysteries, so I didn't know.
Yes. Brennan,
I'm excited
I can't wait.
I'm excited to watch them all too after the clips you've shown. I'm excited to see them.
Because Crystal was at KC, you know, she's got to experience, you know, like Crystal's real life personality, which she is the sweetest heart. And all of that cast is, you know, like I would love to see them incorporate like all of the shows that have full cast and bring them in some weekends. And I know that we tried here with just a starting, but it would it just to see them all interact, and because who they are off screen just oozes on who they are on screen.
Yes,
it's a fun show.
The Signed Sealed cast is so kind. You know, I met them at RomCom and they were all really nice.
My first introduction to them, and this is how I actually did. I did not say this to Crystal when we were in KC, but I said, Crystal, I got to see you in Drama. Good to see you again. Can't hope we get to do it again. But my first interaction was they were lost they had gone from one event. They were trying to find their way back to the main ballroom, and I knew how to do the back alleys. And so I'm like, because I had already been in the back to help bring Brittany places. I was like, oh, just, you know what? Brittany's good right now. Like, come follow me. The meeting planner and me is like, let's go back to the kitchen.
Yeah, girl.
And then I'm just kind of like, you know, and I have no idea really. I know who the show is or what the show is, and but I've never met any of them. And I'm just like, so how's your day? Like, I'm trying to keep up this conversation when I'm like, okay, instead of being like the bossy girl, being like, follow me, I got this.
That's awesome, Catherine. I'll show you the secret way.
Exactly.
Yes. But anyway.
That's awesome, girl. I love that.
It's good memories.
Awesome. down the rabbit hole we go. But back to Hope Valley and When Clouds the Heart, Lucas and Edie on the train. That scene was great.
So good.
Oh, that scene was also spicy. Their banter. And I loved how Edie, she's not intimidated by him. He's obviously the governor. And I don't want to say she doesn't care, but she wasn't afraid to push his buttons or just keep giving it to him. And he was giving it back to her.
You know, his song title just came up would be a good one. That Don't Impress Me Much by Shania Twain.
Oh, yes.
Because literally, and it's not that he's trying to impress her.
Right.
I mean, you don't really get that vibe, but that's the vibe she gives back of like, got this.
Right.
Yep.
She even brings up Jeanette. I mean, she basically says, I don't know if I should call you governor. And she's a pistol. Yeah. And I love Lucas. I love that hat. I love that Lucas hat.
Oh yeah.
I think he's worn that since season 6. That I can remember. Love that. Right.
Same.
Yeah. When he was wasn't that when he was actually going after Jeanette that he wore that hat last?
Maybe. I think
so.
Catherine, I think you're right.
Yep.
Oh.
Because there's that picture from season 11, episode 4. It was like the last scene of the Easter episode when he finds the picture in the file that she gives him of them, and he's in that hat.
Oh,
or he's wearing.
Well, not only that, but when he rode off and Nathan finds him, he's wearing. Isn't he wearing that hat when he's out in the woods?
I think so.
I think so. And then, I think that scene. I think he wore the hat.
Oh, you too. Good detective
Bravo,
skills.
Barbara.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, is Edie married? I am so curious.
Want to take
I think she is.
I don't.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Catherine.
I was gonna say I'm with you. I don't think she is. I think she's using it as a protection.
No. I think so too.
Yeah.
And
if she's going to be Lucas's love interest, she can't be married. So
exactly.
Right.
Yes. So there's obviously.
I'm going to be the first to say that it can't be a widow situation because that's done. Right. So it needs to be something where she's hiding something, but in a good way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I guess this is related to the national park because of Goldie Trail, but Rosemary and Elizabeth spying on Lee and Mike, that was hilarious.
That was so funny. I actually was kind of nervous when I saw the preview because I immediately thought, oh gosh, what's this goofy, silly thing? Why are we not getting more Nathan and Elizabeth? But watching that scene, I actually really loved it. It was hilarious. Mike and Lee were so funny. And Rosemary's dragging Elizabeth along. And it was great. I really
love when they're just standing there and, they're looking across the street at Lee getting on the bike and riding off, and then Mike getting on the bike and riding off, and Elizabeth's like, yeah, something's odd. And then Rosemary with her pouty face, she's just like, tally-ho!
Tally-ho, Elizabeth! And Elizabeth's like, okay.
It's just so funny. And I love Lee's expression as he's riding his bike with that new coat. He's just like,
good Lucy and Ethel vibes. Aaron and Pascal did great. I just, my favorite is Mike to Lee. Is that branch moving?
Yeah.
And then
bear.
It raises up and then the bears when they come. Yeah, that was great.
The bell. It's the bear.
What you loved about it was that Rosemary is asking Elizabeth, what do you say? And she's like, I don't know. And we're not close enough or whatever. And she's just like, she's getting annoyed, but she's at the same point still just like, why can't you tell me? And
and
it was so funny. Something about, he's talking about Lucas and he says, oh, well, you know who? And Rosemary's like, you know who? And it's just...
Lee's face when he sees them appear from the bushes. He's like, really?
Yeah,
and they're
not that surprises
screaming.
him with
They're
his
like,
wife.
really?
I love how Lee's like, did you follow us? And Rosemary's like, no. And Elizabeth's like, yes.
I'm not
Elizabeth
keeping
is
secrets for him.
Right. And Elizabeth is just over at that point. She's like, what is going on? Like,
And the exit when Elizabeth and
Oh.
Hickam.
oh, that was so cute. She's like, what do you say?
Time to
And
go.
they skip down the trail together.
Yeah, didn't Hickam bring a bike up there?
Catherine, good point. What happened to his bike? Oh, right.
That never ever world.
Elizabeth's facial expression when Rosemary said to Lee, that's very attractive. She's like, okay, now's our time to exit.
That was good.
That was really good. I was pleasantly surprised with that scene, how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I was cracking up too at the fact that, off screen, Aaron and Ben are actually a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I thought of too. Like, oh, this is cute. We get to see them like skip off together. We never see that.
Yeah, they have a scene together. Let's go. Hand in hand down the hill.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I also loved the scene with him and Edie in the cafe after Minnie gives the advice about if you want to reconcile with someone, you have to knock 3 times. And this is, at the point when Lucas knows he's messed up with Lee and he just wants to make things right.
I really liked seeing Minnie and Lucas in a scene like that together.
Me too.
I don't know. Have we ever seen them in a scene like that? Just talking the two of them?
I don't think so.
That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the closest is the whole family when they were wishing him good luck for going for governor, and as they gave him their money as in support and stuff. I think that's the last time I can remember. What I will say in a thing was, so Edie had already been in the cafe because she had said that essentially that table already had been given to her. So so as her spot, I just thought that was obviously learning to work together is where we're going to be heading here in the storyline.
Yeah.
But I just it was just like all of a sudden she was like BFFs with her already, which is obviously so much happens off screen. But I just it kind of took me for a second. I knew that's who was going to sit down, but at the same time I was like, Minnie seems to know her pretty good, and then at least they explain,
Yes.
And I loved how Lucas, he kept glancing up at her.
Yeah.
At the very end of the scene, he kept looking up at her.
Yeah.
And he always has that paper.
He's intrigued.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm excited. I'm excited for them.
Me too. I think it would be great or fun to see Edie start a local law practice in Hope Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Hope Valley doesn't have a current lawyer, do they?
I don't think so. Not other than Bill, who is the judge.
Right.
Yeah.
So she can stay in Hope Valley because I do like her and she's a great actress.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great so far.
Moving on to the mystery, the scene with Ned, Florence, and Rosemary at the Mercantile. Ned comes across the rare coin known as the double-headed eagle. And I love how, Rosemary is like, this could be a human interest piece.
Yeah. And then you've got nobody would have given you this if they knew its real value. and granted that is true, but how they had Florence take it and Loretta was just like what are we, chopped liver?
Yep.
And so that part was perfection. And then then when she does that, here's the title of what it would be, and she's like, and once again, Florence, we are.
Yeah.
Hey, I guess we'll give it back.
Right.
Yes.
I'm loving the comedy, and it's just subtle enough too. It's not in your face.
And Rosemary's just so theatrical. She does her classic.
Yeah.
Humble local merchants. Find gold coin. Invite spender to come forward and reclaim. Reclaim?
Don't take
And
my
he goes,
money.
well.
I was going to wait until we got to the Grants and the Thorntons because it involves Allie, but with some of the comments that were made on Thursday Threads last night about this person's return, it does make me curious. Earl Wyatt. His timing is very interesting.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. But when your dad works for the
railroad,
or for the railroad and you just happen to show up, at the same time, the coincidence of two of these things happening at the same time, I'm sure aren't just a coincidence. And I can't wait to see it unfold.
Yeah, same.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wonder if he was involved. Well, not necessarily involved because he would have been a kid when the robbery happened.
Yeah. Well, and you wonder if he's doing his own investigation too. Because when you think about it, he also, he came in to be right away within the community, and he got a job right away within the community. It wasn't like he was riding on daddy's coattails and coming in kind of a thing. So I just kind of wondered if, I know a lot of people are theorizing that he's definitely, not going to be good or whatever, but I think that, they could go many different ways with it. It would be interesting to see him trying to, because we've got the little Mountie.
Yes.
So then, it would, I don't, and I know people are like, oh, he's the little Lucas. And I don't deny that either. If that
Lucas
would be
2.0.
Yeah. Lucas 2.0. That's the way that they're going. But I just think, it just came as like, it would be interesting to see him doing his, and I'm sure that's not what we're going to get, but I can hope.
Yeah. Actually, I probably should say Lucas 3.0 because Charles is like Lucas 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
True. Earl and Lucas, they both have their own rides.
Yeah.
I don't even think Oliver has his own horse yet, but...
Well, I really didn't get Lucas from him immediately. I got Lee because of the bike.
Yes.
True. Yeah. I thought of that too. The way he
like Lucas. Like, okay.
I thought of that too, Catherine. Like, oh, this entrance is just how Lee came in. And Rosemary was right there to welcome him. Allie was right there.
Yeah. And that was the dynamic that I was looking at. I'm like, I mean, I'll buy the Lucas and I'm on board for it if that's what it is. But so if he was the Lee, him investigating would be fun.
Yes.
So fun. Yeah.
I think so too.
And we don't know how many episodes he's in. So I mean we don't know where these stories are going.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't turn out to be a bad guy.
Right.
I hope not, especially since he came in and he seems very
reformed.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. And he even said that. He goes, I'm not that
not a bully anymore.
Boy anymore, the bully and stuff like that. So
he apologized to Opal.
But seriously, Opal's reaction, I remember.
I love how she looks at him like, oh, yeah.
I just wasn't, I don't know. What was great, and it was all about Brownie, and then so Allie knew already, but I gotta give kudos for that, for those like, I'm not impressed.
Right. And then Opal is just the first to walk away, like, seriously. And then she looks back and drags Allie with her. Like, let's see. Move on.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they had to because of the Brownie incident. But I was going to say, I am kind of surprised it was Opal that was next to Allie with that. I guess, and I would think it would, I mean, Emily would have maybe been more like, I don't know. But with the Brownie, it makes sense because they needed to put that together.
Pigtails. So rude.
Oh,
that was hilarious.
It's fun seeing
Opal.
Just talking about Opal, she's now a teenager and she's just growing up and she's so beautiful, and it's fun seeing her give that sass.
Yes. And back to the mystery. So Bill and Rosemary at the saloon. Bill brings up the unsolved case with the same double-headed eagle coin. And he says that 20,000 coins were stolen from a locked safe aboard a secured freight car and never recovered. And if they can trace it, they might be on their way to solving the Great Rocky Mountain train robbery of 1907.
I'm excited to see these two work together because those were those.
Me too.
No, that was my comedy last year. So yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
And I liked how Bill asked Rosemary, oh goodness, I'm not forgetting what he says. He says something like, will you join or are you in? Because last season he was so yes. Because last season he was so annoyed with her at first.
Right. Yeah.
You know that level of respect, is there between, between them, and that he's one of those cranky old guys, and then once you're in there, you're in there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see them work together again.
I am too, yeah.
For sure. Me too.
Going to our Keeping It Real segment. So this is about the kids and the Coulters that isn't related to the national park. So we have Toby and Cooper with the Kids Minute on the Valley Voice Radio Hour. And I loved that little scene to start off this episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they've ever started it with kids or, without one of their main cast members in there. So yeah, I was really surprised that was our opening scene, but going back, it's fun that it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought it was really fun and cute that it opened with the kids, and Toby and Cooper just were so excited to be on the radio, and his little kazoo, that was so cute.
Yeah.
He's a junior Rosemary. He's going to have his own little tune for it.
Yes.
Oh, I can see that.
And I love this comic book storyline. I just,
yeah,
I do too.
There's I'm not saying that there's going to be so many possibilities they can go with it, but they probably could if they had the time. It's the time. There's not enough time in the season.
Right.
Yes. I feel like the radio hour is another form of storytelling, like Elizabeth's journal entry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's, they're rolling with the times, with radio coming about, and journaling, of course, is timeless, but it's time appropriate.
Yes.
Maybe if the show goes long enough, Rosemary will have her own podcast.
Yeah.
Boy, will she be ahead of the times.
Oh, yes. Oh, my.
But, if anybody's going to be cutting edge, it's going to be her.
That would be
Absolutely.
awesome. So in the Kids Minute, we hear about the Hope Valley Hazelnut Company that just started as Comic Book Money. And Opal, Emily, and Angela have started the Hazelnut Cart on Main Street. And I love how the kids are running it.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah, we really didn't have a lot with Henry with them. Or I don't think we even had any with Henry with the kids this time around.
No, I don't think he was in this
He's just like, you guys got it. I'm out of here. I'm enjoying retirement.
Kids are doing it. I'm out.
Yeah.
Did you two ever do anything like that when you were a kid? Like have a lemonade stand or something else, maybe?
Oh, sure. I live on a corner in a cul-de-sac, so we had lemonade stands every summer. Not successfully. We're not. But no, I think I just love that, even I don't want to say simple because it's that's not the word for it, but I love that they're incorporating the kids so much already in the first 3 episodes and how they're doing it, because it's ways that, it takes them, it brings them. You're not going to live in that schoolhouse, as they've talked about. So many people are graduating. What they said, 3 of them are graduating this year. I think they've said in
Emily,
that was
Timmy, and Angela.
Timmy, yeah. So, and the whole thing is about moving on in your journey and stuff. And so I just really appreciate how that they're just trying, even with Allie being like, I want just a party with just my friends kind of a thing, which just seems so appropriate anyways for that age. And so they're just letting the kids shine. And I think that's fantastic. It's exciting.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I
agree.
had a lemonade stand when I was a kid. Didn't really work out well. Actually, Funny story. Me and one of my cousins, I forgot how old we were. So in my neighborhood, I live on the golf course, and
Mm.
we set up a lemonade stand like right in my backyard.
Mm.
And, we were trying to, get the attention of the golfers. And of course, we were successful a couple times. But one day we did get in trouble with the clubhouse because the concession stand person that goes around on the concession cart
Oh, yeah.
came and talked to us and like, you're not supposed to do that.
Oh no.
Well, were you selling on your property?
Yes, we were selling on our property.
Yeah,
Mm.
then no.
Yeah, then get out of here, man. This is my
Yeah,
house.
they're just mad people were spending a quarter for your lemonade versus
Yeah.
$3.50 for theirs.
Exactly.
Yours,
Yeah.
Right. Yours was more affordable.
Shame on you for giving the bargain, Nicole.
Yeah.
I guess they were just mad that
How
we
dare
were
you give people a deal?
taking the concession person's money.
So
we did have to stop.
Oh, you did?
We did stop eventually, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we didn't want to get in trouble. So
it's so funny because when you think about it, really, well, no, really, if you were on your own property, what could they do to you? But I mean, like, let's not test that water. But inquiring minds really want to know.
Like, it was this whole thing. Like, I came up with this club called the Glamour Girls Club, and we would like sell money to do fun like things around the house, but not really. Like, we would dress up and have dance shows and concerts.
That's awesome.
That's adorable.
At home.
That's adorable.
All right. So next time I see you, we'd like some reenactments.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't share that with us.
We need some pictures.
I mean, bring your cousin if you want.
Oh gosh.
The more the merrier for the reenactments.
Yeah, let's relive it.
We even, no joke, we even made a CD of ourselves singing cover songs, and I think it was called Glamour Girls. Like, that was our group name.
Oh, do you still have that CD?
Somewhere.
But more importantly, do you have a recording video of you guys singing that made it onto the CD?
Yes.
No video, just the audio.
Darn it.
We'll settle for the audio.
We'll settle for the audio, yeah. Okay, you want to know what I did? And I'm not that much older than you guys, but now I feel old. I was the one who sat there and listened for the song on the cassette player to hit the record button for that specific song. I was making my own mixtapes that way, but I was not singing my own mixtapes.
Yeah.
Catherine, you were so ahead of your time, girl. Our time.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
yes.
I back then.
Yeah.
I still remember. And then you had like the commercials where you're like, seriously, I'm like, well, don't stop it now. But on a side note, really quick, one of my favorite things is my dad made videos, or our home videos. He brought them. He videotaped the screen and then to put them on VHS just for his siblings, because at that time the conversion and stuff like that, opportunities really weren't there and stuff like that. So he was just trying to figure out how to do it. And so I love him. But he does, it was our slow rock station. And so he's just like, okay, I'm just gonna have cool or 10 WLTE on the background. He never turned it off for the commercials. So then it'll come to like a picture of me camping as a kid, and then it'll be to some sort of insane commercial when it could have been to a song. So he was on the real old school era where he's like, I'm not bothering turning that off.
Oh,
sweet.
But you know what?
I love that.
Yeah, I love it too.
That. That's so sweet. Oh,
tried. I love him.
Did. Oh, love him. Absolutely.
I also remember recording stuff from the radio for ringtones. Like, I would literally.
I did that too. And you had to wait for the chorus or the line you wanted. Yes.
For ringtones, I didn't do that. Well, dang. That must be my college years. I don't recall doing that.
What a pain.
Oh, that was so annoying.
And if the song went off and you missed it, you had to wait until the next time it came on, which was who
Yeah.
knows how long.
We are so spoiled with how we listen to music and watch TV nowadays.
Right?
But anyway, going back to Hope Valley, Bill and Rosemary and Faith and Rosemary. So Rosemary runs into Bill in town and he mentions to her that Lee had a will drawn up. And of course, Rosemary is freaking out, but he won't tell her more about why. And then she freaks out even more with Faith when she won't say anything about his doctor's visit. What did y'all think about those scenes? I feel like at least Faith could have told her because Rosemary is married to Lee.
I thought it was interesting how both Bill and Faith kind of told her the same thing. Or they used the same type of words. Yeah. You know, oh, I can't tell you. And then they both just kind of ran off. And both times Rosemary's just standing there like, what is going on?
Yeah. I guess I really enjoyed Faith. I mean, she was the talk of reason with everything.
Yes,
with those scenes. And those are genuine concerns at any time. And so it was nice to see it involved. And then from her aspect or whatever of how she's encouraging Lee. And then it once again gave them what they needed to do was they needed to have a conversation, you know. And so I think because Bill talked with Hickam in episode 2. And Faith talked with Mai in episode 2. So those two are definitely the voices of reason for everything. And so I love that they're keeping it going. And Bill was on fire when he did it with Nathan too. But you know, because right now at this point there really isn't a lot when Lily's not around for Faith to do. And I enjoy, you know, having that. It isn't about sickness, you know, it's just, you know, it's about community and real love for your friends and how you want to support them in all ways. Because she did her doctor thing, but as a friend, she's just like, you know, just be truthful with your wife kind of a thing and stuff like that. So I really like that.
Yeah. I agree with what Catherine said. Faith has always been a faithful friend. She's always made time to not only be the doctor, but like you said, Catherine, to also be that voice of friendship and understanding. And she's really become a safe place in the community for almost all of the characters.
You're right.
To go to.
Because she encouraged Rosemary when Rosemary was suffering from being a motherless mother. And you know, and all of those things too. And it's back to you know, I'll do what I can to help you. And then, you know, but you know, make sure that you're working hand in hand with the person that means the most to you. So
yeah. I think one of my favorite scenes from this episode was the one with Lee and Faith. And I am curious what made Lee want to, I guess, have a checkup. I know part of it was because of his dad, but I wonder what he thought was going on. Like, I don't think we ever found out.
We didn't know that. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the age thing would have been enough for me to be, but I think it was, well, what he was the most concerned about is first and foremost, he's thinking of Goldie. And because the national park isn't working the way that he wanted to, he's trying to have something for her to remember him by. And so all of that. So the checkup, I think, would be the part that comes hand in hand with that to say you're gonna be here, but I get you where we didn't know why, but I don't think there really was a why except for maybe instead or anxiety or something along those lines of, am I doing enough? Because I think that was one of his questions. Am I doing enough?
Yeah.
And you know, and so that's just
I think what I meant was we never really have known what Lee's father's cause of death was.
Oh yeah. Now do you wonder, is that something that they're setting up for the season? Or do you think that was, or do we think it just backtrack and it's just all about Goldie, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
for sure. And I wonder if I agree with both of you totally. I also wonder if this tension, this conflict that he's having with Lucas is making him rethink his priorities, and maybe he's realizing again, okay, what is most important to me? What do I want to spend my time doing? Because just one episode ago, he was on board with being in Capital City for a while with Lucas. And now that they had their really intense conversation in episode 2, maybe now he's back home and thinking, man, what is really important to me? If, I just had this disagreement with my friend, what really matters and what is important.
Yes, agreed. That was a great scene.
It was a great scene. And I know some of us have mentioned this before, but I'm really loving Lee this season. I mean, we're only 3 episodes in. I've always loved Lee, but his storyline is just so great so far, and he's just been so strong. And this is my favorite arc so far of his, is this season.
I think so too. Yes. So moving on to the Grants and the Thorntons. Time to gush.
The Granton era is fabulous.
Yes. But first,
I need some water.
And Allie. I loved that first scene with Nathan and Allie. He's suggesting a pony party, and she's like, "I'm not 7, Dad."
Sweet Nathan. Oh, his little girl.
Get your butt moving on a real date so you can keep this woman.
Yes.
You work so hard to get her.
Yeah.
I love how she says, "Go out and do something fun on your own." And,
without me. Like, you don't need me.
Yeah.
We go on dates. And she's like,
the picnic.
A picnic with your kids is not a date, Dad.
Dad.
And he's just like, huh?
What do you mean? Yeah. I will say that what I appreciate is that, they are showing individual, like they're, just because they are blending a family, because let's be honest, that's what we are doing. They're still showing those individual, like I didn't want it to, when they keep talking about how, Elizabeth helps Allie or whatever kind of a thing. Like, I am glad to see that it isn't just that. And it's because, like, when you think about it, for episode 2, let's go backwards. But when you think about it for that one, he, like when Elizabeth helped, he goes, well, what was that about? And it was perfectly fine, that just growing pains and stuff like that. But, because he's learning how to have that relationship with her at this age. And so I'm glad that they're actually approaching that versus just being like, it's only Elizabeth that's helping her kind of a thing. So I'm glad they had those walk and talks and stuff, like that porch scene last year when she got up when Elizabeth walked over and stuff, because she knew, like those are the things that a girl who wants the best for her dad, kind of a thing. So I'm glad that they're keeping that element.
Yes, me too.
Me too. Yes. Nathan and Elizabeth at the Mountie office. Can we
Okay, can we just talk about how he just took his daughter's advice immediately? Just a minute ago, she's telling him that a date with kids is not a real date. And then the moment he sees Elizabeth, he's immediately thinking about grown-up time.
Really? Care to step in my office and discuss?
And Elizabeth says it too. She says, oh, we need to do something more grown up.
Oh, man. She was sprinting.
She was sprinting. She's like, there's my man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Go get your man, Elizabeth.
Do you guys think that maybe she was watching his conversation with Allie and just letting them walk and talk? And then as soon as she saw Allie leave, she's like, okay, I'm going in.
Maybe.
Well, did it go straight? It separated, right? Because he's talking with community people. There's a couple that are standing outside the Mountie office that he's talking with townsfolk with.
That's true.
So I was just trying to think. I actually kind of had wondered where she had run from, but I figured she just was like she was maybe she didn't have anything in her hand, so she wasn't going to the schoolhouse. So yeah.
Oh, I agree with you, Catherine. She had her eagle eyes out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was a scene with Nathan and Allie, and then the one with Allie and Angela and Opal and Emily, and then the Nathan and Elizabeth one.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I already forgot.
She blacked out once Elizabeth ran to her man. Brennan was on the floor and hasn't returned yet.
The way he was like pushing her in his office, like, okay now.
Oh my goodness gracious. And Elizabeth too. I mean, they both were like practically running in there.
I saw a little skip from her.
That
they
giggle,
just couldn't wait.
That giggle as he let her in for ADR, I'm sure that's when that one occurred, is perfect.
Oh, Catherine, yes.
Bravo idea. And you're like, all right, we'll giggle our way in. We got this.
Yes. And she just goes in backwards. She's like, I don't even care. I don't even know where I'm looking. I'm just looking at you, babe.
Darn you, Oliver. Darn you, kid.
Oh.
You're on the list now, Oliver.
Oh,
you're on the list.
You're on the list.
And he's just like, hi, Mrs. Thornton.
Hey, you're it.
Isn't it so amazing though? When we think about all of the Mountie office scenes that Elizabeth and Nathan have had, they've had great conversations, but they've had tense conversations in there. When you think about what she said to him in the season 8 finale, how painful and heartbreaking was that for us? And now we get this?
We were so close to a surge kiss. Can we please get a surge kiss?
You guys,
please.
It's fixed. It's fixed. This makes up for
I agree with
she
you.
has ever said.
That's got to be happening, Nicole.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We need one. Can we talk about the fact that just a year ago, well, maybe not a year ago, like 7 months ago, episode 3, it was Nathan shirtless, and now they're kissing in the middle, almost kissing.
Did you see my edit with that yesterday?
I did. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I was just because when I was like, I'm like, I've seen that, like, once I slowed down the Mountie office, because let's be honest, who didn't? Mm-hmm. Once I slowed it down and then saw her reaction and slowed down to with the mouth wide open to Oliver, I was like, oh my gosh, Erin did that last season, so she's the one getting hot. And so yeah, no, it was I love that. I'm going to say every episode of 3 is going to have to be something of them that's going to be like, well, knock me over, because really nobody expected the shirtless scene to be as early as it was in the season. And if we're starting here now, how are we going to make it to 12?
Right.
I mean, I'm up for the challenge. Don't get me wrong, but how are we going to make it?
Absolutely. Challenge accepted. And we're building, right? First it was the shirtless. It was the almost kiss. Who knows what they'll do next?
I think by episode 12, they're going to have the whole town burned down.
Yes.
They might have to lock that
dark version of the show that we can do for after the whole season's over.
Yes, Catherine. You know, they might just have to lock the door, pull the shades. Out of office.
I'm trying to keep my comments PG for you. Or G. Because that's okay. I love it. That was the complaint yesterday of putting the cryos or whatever those are called. Yeah. Right over hot Nathan as he's raising his hand. And I'm just like, and I love somebody commented, they're just making sure you know that this is going to be G. And I'm like, sure. Okay. Let me think of another word. I'm going to go with great, but I'm sure I can come up with many other things for the G.
Right?
Yeah.
Challenge accepted on that too.
Yes. Challenge with a G. Challenge.
Actually have a edit idea all of a sudden. Okay. I'm on it.
Yes, girl.
There's no way that Oliver did not see that exchange.
You know, I go back and forth on that because he specifically said what he was doing in the
Oh,
bunk
yeah.
rooms. And those are further back. So they covered their bases with that. But at the same time, he wasn't like, but at the same time, he also wasn't like, number one, like even with hello or whatever to make himself known.
Yeah.
He wasn't in. Maybe that's how I interpret it. But did you think he was embarrassed by seeing them? I didn't get that. I think he's still
think so.
I think he's still like how he was when my clip happened about, well, like Nathan being like, there's something going between us because you just ruined and Elizabeth's leaving now. And I feel like, like that even the my bad was he was still like, what?
I think he knows. Like,
yeah. I think he obviously there's no hiding it, but it'll be interesting to see once if it is going the way where I hope it is, that it's Oliver. Really, I mean, I can't imagine why it wouldn't be with everything. But it would be really interesting to see his dynamic of the two of them, like in these kind of situations, once he's in the middle of his own situation.
Yeah.
Too.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I think Nathan should have knocked on his own Mountie office.
That's what I said.
Oliver, do you guys know the episode of Friends?
I've never watched that show.
So okay. Real quick, Nicole, do you mind if I spoil this for you?
No.
Okay, so when Ross and Rachel become a couple in season 2 and they're dating for the first time, they go back to Rachel and Monica's apartment.
Okay.
And they want to do stuff. But they immediately start yelling for Monica to make sure she's not home. So they're going through the whole apartment. They're like, Monica. And then when they realize she's not there, they look at each other and they both kind of go, and then they come together and they start kissing.
And that is your edit, because what you can do is edit out Monica and we can put in Oliver as a voiceover.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Catherine, can you help me do that? You guys, I'm an edit newbie.
No, that is this weekend's project. We got it.
That's what Nathan should have done. Oliver.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is a project. Let's do it.
Oh no, I'm totally serious. There we can definitely do that. You can even if you will either cut out the names or we just put Oliver over the Monica. So anyways.
Oh girl.
Sorry about the shop talk, but yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah. And it is Nicole, the references to Friends for Ross and Rachel. So you don't know they're each other's lobsters or
I've heard the line.
You know about them from pop culture? Yeah.
Yes. I just haven't had a chance to watch the show yet, but I've heard it's a great show.
It's so good. I love it.
I was going to say, once you start watching, you never end, because I actually didn't watch it when it was first airing either. It was too risque for my parents.
I was too little. My parents didn't let me watch it.
Yeah.
I probably was too little too. I was probably around the same age as
I think it started in 96, and yet I was 3. I was kind of being told what to watch at that time. So yeah.
Me too. Yeah, parents were a little strict. It's okay.
Yeah.
I saw it eventually.
I do have a friend's shirt that I got from, I think it was Carrie. And me and her and Morgan, who is Team Nathan Grant on Instagram. I'm sure you know them, Catherine. And you too, Brennan. But the shirt is, we don't know that they know we know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the line on the shirt.
We don't know that they know that we know that they know that we know that. Yeah. It gets to the point where you're like, there was another one that was very similar to that, and I just give kudos to the actors and actresses, because as a listener, I was like, you lost me after I started thinking about what you were saying.
Catherine, didn't you do an edit with that?
I did do an edit with that.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I went as far down the line as they did with the We Knows, but it got to be pretty funny when they're like, what?
But anyway, they look at Oliver's writing sample, and it's a summary of an old case file, and they realize that it's only at a 4th or 5th grade level. So Elizabeth offers to help. And of course, Nathan doesn't have a problem with that. And then they go in for a second kiss. Dang that phone.
Why did Nathan have to answer? I'm like, Nathan, buddy, you did not have to answer. Well, technically, Elizabeth said you should get that, but he could have been like, no.
No.
Yeah.
Nathan, why did you have to answer? I get why they did it, but also, you didn't have to answer the phone.
I like the sound of alone time because he's like frustrated.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
she's
ready. She is ready.
She's ready. And she just like ready. Saunters out.
Uh-huh.
Wink, wink.
Yes. Oh, she ready.
So cute.
Oh my goodness.
But how is it that you make not kissing? And I mean, all these two actors need to do is just stare at each other, or like look across the room. And I'm just like, but that, like I was at first, I was, you always are disappointed when you don't get a kiss. Yeah. But you're just like, that was just as hot as if they would have actually kissed.
Yeah, I get it.
I agree, Catherine. The almost kiss before Oliver interrupted was so hot still.
Yeah,
it really was. It left us wanting more, but it also left us satisfied.
It's coming. I think it's coming.
Yeah.
But yes, we would still throw eggs at Oliver for getting in the way.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Another one of my favorite scenes is Elizabeth and Oliver in the library when he tells her about, what he did. And I love how she assures him. And is there for him. I thought it was great.
It brings her, not that she left those roots. Well, she might have buried a little bit from those roots for a little bit. So, but like Brennan said, it's good. It's great to see her in that role that, that was made for, and that no child gets left. So here we have a no child gets left behind. Yeah. But that's what she did with Toby and other students in the past. So it's true to her nature. And I am sorry, but the second hottest thing in this entire episode was the word hour.
Yes.
And he's like, hour, and she's like, well, I'm his teacher. And I'm just like, okay, don't fall off the chair. Don't fall off the chair. But I was like,
that was total foreshadowing, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though that we know Oliver won't be their kid, that was foreshadowing.
Yeah. Well, it just, it reconfirmed too, they are a team. And then, not to get too far ahead, but for him coming back into the schoolhouse, like they can, as a team, be frustrated because they were frustrated with each other, and then make up and actually have a real adult conversation both ways. So
yes,
hour literally take me off the floor.
And oh my goodness, Catherine, I completely agree, and I love that we know that Nathan has been thinking about a future with Elizabeth. Basically the whole time he's been here. But last season, Elizabeth told Rosemary she's been so excited about thinking about a future with Nathan. So I love how she was the first one to say our. And she even did that in episode 1 when Nathan was struggling with, how am I going to tell Jack someday about his father? And she said, we'll do it together. So Catherine, I completely agree with you. It's beautiful to see Elizabeth being the one that is saying, we'll do this together. I love that she's the one leading that for them.
Yeah, they're already...
They're married.
They already know.
They are.
That they want to get married.
Yeah, well, that's just the thing is you can be, I will be honest, I got nervous in the first episode when the medal, like the fact that it wasn't that little Jack lost the medal and Nathan was looking for it and trying to apologize, instead it was about the fact that he made a box for its home. Like, because I think you're just so used to being like, well, what's that new interruption going to be? And the interruptions are definitely not interruptions. And that's what I love. It's a growth thing and it's maybe a slight challenge, but it's not like they're going to be like, well, I'm not talking to you for, a whole 2 days kind of a thing, like this. It's so refreshing to be there and to be able to just enjoy this peacefully.
Yes. Catherine, completely agree. Completely agree. Yeah. It's not how we used to feel in the dark days where it's like, oh, Elizabeth is mad at Nathan again. She's not going to talk to him.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, but have you talked with Nathan? Well, he's been gone for weeks and weeks and weeks. And it's just like, sure, that sounds about reasonable when you left him when you guys just got carried away from the log. Sure. You know, like, so by Bill. So yeah, it's just, I think, but it's taken me a moment because when I was like, oh crap, here we go again. But they're not doing that to us. And that's what's just
right.
Warm, fuzzy, and fire and steamy.
Yeah. Yes, exactly, Catherine. We don't have to worry about it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is so refreshing. I love how you said that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They already know that they're going to be married at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Unofficial vows are being said.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great way to say it. Unofficial vows. Yeah.
Yes.
They're being scattered amongst during that. So it'd be like, well, I didn't want an elopement. I go, well, technically they got married in front of Rosemary when she said I could do a future with him. And then they get married over here with Bill with like, you should listen to Elizabeth. She is your wife.
Right.
Yeah.
so they've already expressed that love and marriage commitment in front of others.
Yes.
I just made that up and I like it.
It's so good. Honestly, girl. Yes.
That's a real too.
Yeah.
There's not enough time in the day, girls.
Yeah. We're coming up with all these reels. It's so good.
Yeah. And going back to Elizabeth and Oliver for a second, not that, Oliver actually goes to school at the Jack Norton school, but Erin really shines in these scenes with her students, and those are always some of my favorites.
I agree.
Or with the kids is what I mean.
Absolutely.
And I also love how in episode 3 of season 11 we get a scene with her and Toby in the library.
Yes, I thought about that too. And that was such a beautiful story with her helping Toby.
Yeah. One of my favorite scenes from season 11.
Yeah, me too.
It kind of broke my heart when Oliver's like, I'm so dumb. And Elizabeth's like, you're not dumb.
Right. It's because the smarts come in so many different ways. Yeah.
Right.
But why don't we just talk about the makeup scene with Nathan and Elizabeth?
And that was Brennan on the floor yet again.
If this is how they make up, can we have a fight every episode?
Yeah, really? Can we?
Sign me up. Yeah.
Oh, you guys.
Well, first of all, I love that we start with chemistry and matter and change on the board because they have it and things are, and I actually failed science. It was not my subject. So I don't know anything about chemistry really, but
this is chemistry that we know.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, so I appreciate that. I think of course I love the scene as the scene, but what I love about how it was shot was, it was Elisa's comeback then to last season and different, just different dynamics and stuff like that of she recognized the voice and then just, even though she is still frustrated with them because you can see that. Yeah. And then 2, just peaceful that it's going to be okay and it's him. And there was nothing that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Right.
It was great.
It was so good. And it was so, so good. Just when we break it down, how he enters. And side note, that's always been Nathan's thing with Elizabeth in the schoolhouse. He's always come in with her in there. And even in season 6, that's kind of been their thing. She's in there getting ready and he just comes in behind her and they have these beautiful scenes. And we love how he sat down, right? And then he says, Mrs. Thornton, and she says, yes, Nathan, here is his hand. I just am going to break it down because it's so fantastic. And oh my goodness, you guys, what he says to her,
He'd
Can we
be
talk about
lucky
that?
to have you as a teacher, just like I'm lucky to have you to tell me when I'm wrong. You
Mhm.
never give up on people. It's one of the many reasons why I love you.
Oh, Nathan Grant. And then, okay, can we talk about the hand reach and the pulling his hands around her waist?
Can we talk about editing and why I don't
Yes!
have a picture of that?
Yeah,
But yes,
yeah.
as a scene, good job, Kevin and Karen. Kevin and Aaron. That's how excited I was. But
Yes.
oh, I mean, it was such a tease not to
It was such a tease. And just she says, I love you too. And we've been waiting for another I love you.
Yeah.
And this was
Mhm.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the forehead touch, that is one of my favorite things.
Oh,
my
it's
word.
With you. There were a lot of complaints that they didn't kiss. And I was a-okay that they didn't, because this is about, it can't be about that all the time. And this is just the right amount of passion for I adore you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like thankful for you. So yeah.
Yes. And yes, absolutely. And they were still thinking about that common goal, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're in this together, and Elizabeth says, what are we going to do about Oliver? And then Nathan says, we don't give up on him. It was still that moment of them coming together and resolving this and figuring out a solution together.
Yeah. It's so much more than kisses for them.
Right.
But keep adding the kisses, because
do we want more kisses? 1,000%.
Yeah.
But what they're giving us is so beautiful. And we are a-okay.
Agreed. Also, I have to mention this because I forgot to mention this a few minutes ago, but the first scene with Elizabeth and Oliver at the school, I just have to bring it up because of what's written on the chalkboard. Inventor John Larson, and he is the inventor of the polygraph. So I wonder if that's going to come up.
I hope so.
Yeah.
An investigation,
Which is the lie detector test, of course. I saw someone else point this out.
I think these are all intentional. It's not just random things that they're writing on the chalkboard.
No.
That's why you got to have eagle eyes, and I actually don't a lot of them, but that's what I love about this community, is it's so fun because I might see the Dirty Dancing version and somebody's like, oh look, they're over here, 1940s movie, and I was like, what? And that's but you learn so much from each other, and it's so fun.
I also loved the scene with Nathan, Elizabeth, and Oliver in the barn when he comes clean to Nathan, and we find out that he was a foster kid and his last family didn't give him permission to go to school. Since he was a farmhand, they thought it was a waste of time. When he aged out, they said he could stay on, but he wanted something more, the Mounties. And of course, they were recruiting, and he had to lie on the application. I don't condone lying, but I do think it was very touching what he said after that he resigned because he didn't want it to reflect badly on Nathan.
The devotion and the respect. I just love that for that scene, besides Oliver's words to Nathan, to really show how much he respects him and doesn't want anything that of his actions to look bad and reflect on him. But I mean, we had Nathan and Elizabeth walking in together, not hand in hand, but close to it. But we end with them holding hands, and
that was really cute,
comforting. And so it's just once again that it's that pillar of helping the community and working and doing it together, and that is exactly what it. There's another edit.
Yes, Catherine. Yes, I completely agree, and exactly what you just said. They're doing it together. They're sitting together, talking to Oliver, listening. And once again, Elizabeth is the one that grabs his hand. And I love these moments. I know I've said it before, but I love these moments we're seeing from her, because you know, she finally did tell Nathan that she loved him and expressed her love. But, you know, maybe she's kind of feeling like maybe I still need to be the one to sometimes express affection first, you know, just to assure Nathan. And so I love that she does that. And the stable, we're going to talk a little bit about that later, but the stables are also becoming a very special place for them, and a place where they have had some great conversations already, and that's just continuing.
Yeah. I also love the look that Nathan gives her after she takes his hand when Oliver leaves.
Right. I love how he like looks down, you know, and then like looks at her like, oh, you know, he's just, I think in a way he just is very, like Catherine said, he just adores her. And I think he's almost just, is just affirming to him. Like,
I was going to say, I think I would say the word would be, he's in awe that, you know, like this is their reality now. And and not, you know, not in a bad way, but he, you know, he's going to cherish it as, you know, good and bad, you know. So
I saw this in a comment. I think it was on Hannah's edit of this scene, like the handhold scene, the Hopeful Hardy on Instagram. And shout out if you're listening, but someone commented on her post and said, I can't wait to see a wedding ring on Nathan's finger. Yes, please. I can't wait.
Signed, sealed, and delivered and approved.
Check. Absolutely. Check.
It's going to leave us all in a puddle.
Completely.
But going to the Nathan, Oliver, and Hargrave scene, the 1 month progress report. And I think this is the first time, at least that I can remember, that we get an actual mention of how long it's been, like time-wise.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep.
Which I thought was kind of cool. Yeah. And Nathan says he shows gumption and loyalty, and with hard work, I believe one day he'll make a fine Mountie. So I thought that was a great scene, and Hargraves was not as cruel in this scene. I find that interesting. In a good way, of course.
Same.
Yeah, he said to Nathan, did he say well done to Nathan?
Something like that.
Yeah, he complimented Nathan, which you're like, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Water. Because
Oh, girl, of course. Me too.
No, I just think it's hysterical. It was at the right time.
Me three.
Intentional.
So we're all drinking water like Hargraves.
Exactly. The water in Hope Valley must make him want to say compliments. And I just love, you can tell how much Oliver, and you two have both said it, and I completely agree. You can tell how much Oliver just looks up to Nathan and admires him and wants to make him proud.
Yeah. And then the coffee cup where, you know,
that was hilarious.
That was, I mean, just the right amount of the eyebrows that Kevin did. I know I'll go back and forth between, but that was all Kevin when he's.
Are you talking about when he moves the coffee cup?
Yeah, when he moves the coffee cup. Yeah. And I'm just like, it, you know, just perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. So good.
Going to the barn scene. I got your note. I told Allie she could stay over if she gets tired. What was in that note?
Oh, and
that's did you the question of the episode?
Yes. And did you notice how cute Elizabeth is? She's like swishing. She's like swishing her beautiful little dress, and it's
pure happiness. I mean, I'm with Steph on her like 10 questions I have after the episode, and I want answers. What was
in that note?
Was in that note? And why did she not pack a bag? No.
Right. Yes.
Oh no. Goodness. I mean, I'm just, you know, blown away that this is where we are. Because after episode 2, you're kind of like, oh, great, they are taking it back a step. And it's just like, nope, just gotta wait out each thing and look them at as one big episode. And then
I had
Oh
an
my
idea
goodness, you guys.
for our date. I thought we could sneak away. What if people see us? They won't.
Oh my goodness. And that whole scene, you could tell Nathan was he was just waiting. He had to give her the report about Oliver, but then he was just waiting for that moment where he could just scooch behind her so closely and tuck her hair and whisper in her ear. He was so ready. He was so looking forward to that.
Is the hottest thing I have ever seen on Hallmark.
It's the hottest thing ever.
But here's the most amazing part is, like I said today, it is our hottest thing yet.
Right, Catherine.
Yes. So I mean, that's what just blows my mind because, because right now it is the hottest thing that we all agree that any of us have ever seen on Hallmark. And you're just like, this is just the beginning.
Catherine, that is so true. That is so true. I might have told you guys this earlier, but Evan came over and was watching the episode with me. And he's like, even that scene, he's like, they've never done this on Hallmark. I'm like, I know.
I love you guys watch it together. If you can't watch it with me, watch it with your boyfriend. Yeah.
Fine. Postables, don't come at me. I love Shane and Oliver, but that was hotter than Shane and Oliver.
Are we talking about when he carries her over the threshold for Shane and Oliver, or was there another scene that I should be? Because that one, I remember that one, people saying that one was pretty hot and risque.
It was, but this?
But, no, I mean, I agree with you. I was just wondering what the bar was for.
Well, vowels and 3 letters, Shane and Oliver.
Okay. But yeah, nope, pick me up off the floor. See you guys in a few months.
Yeah, get our floor mats out, get our sleeping bags.
If this is unmarried Nathan and Elizabeth, what is married Nathan and Elizabeth?
Right.
For real. And this is just their first date.
Yeah, technically. I mean, yeah.
And I love how Elizabeth she just lets him. Even when he's going behind her, she doesn't turn around. She just lets him. And just even when he's whispering in her ear, and then the way she smiles, she just lets him,
She smiles when he walks around her too. And that look. And so you're right. So you are exactly right. Take me, whatever you want to do, you can do. That's where we've landed.
Yes.
There better be that deleted neck kiss on the DVD. They're better.
If not, we write at dawn.
Yeah. Are we all in agreement? We think there was a neck kiss?
That there was a kiss on the neck.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to see it.
Because if you pay really close attention, you can see he's like going lower.
Yeah.
Right before the whisper in the ear. And then it like cuts.
Yeah.
And he's at her ear.
And this was so hot without it. So hot. But let's see it. We want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, who do we need to talk to in editing?
Who
do we need to send flowers to and, candy grams?
Yes.
Money.
Yes.
We will collect and we will take a pot and collect it from all the McGarry's.
Big old gift basket with fruit and
give us the goods.
Maybe you give us the goods, we'll give you goods right back.
Maybe we'll get one later on in the season.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, like we said, everything is calculated. So while I don't, sometimes you can just say, but maybe they would think that in episode 3, that would be a little too hot. So we will wait for that until episode 11, maybe, that. Yeah.
And I think I do remember Stephanie saying that on Threads last night, that it seems like they're building.
Yeah, because I mean, they are from 0 to 1,000, but there still has to be places to go. So you can't, I mean, as much as we want it all, you can't get it all within 3 episodes.
Agreed.
Yeah. But boy, is it frustrating when you just want to see it.
Yes.
I can't. And then the date was just perfection.
Oh my goodness.
Horseback ride with her side saddle. Her hands were in his shirt.
Yes. But I rewatched the buttons a few times now, and I'm still trying to figure out what was leading her to issues just reaching just to touch them. But otherwise, it was just such, like if she was straightening it or something like that, maybe. I'm like, who cares? I'm okay being confused about this, but it's still.
Oh my gosh, friends. And Nathan is so touchy. He is a physical touch guy. They are a physical touch couple.
Oh, yes.
We are absolutely in love with it. But Elizabeth is so touchy with him, which I completely love. The horse ride, she had her hand on his leg.
Yeah.
And then, yes, the collar and the buttons. And then whenever they kiss, have you two noticed? Well, obviously in this scene, but she just wraps her arms around him.
I loved that.
And I don't mean to bring him up because I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying she never did that with Jack. No,
she's literally all in, and to the point where she doesn't even know how to control herself.
Right? Yes, Catherine. Yes. She's like you said, just take me, Constable.
Exactly. That will be the next fanfic title. Take me, Constable.
Ooh. Yes.
I have a lot, I know that I have a real job, but pish posh, I have about a gazillion things from tonight.
Not right now. This is more important.
Right? Yes. This is my application for Hallmark.
This is way more important. Oh my goodness.
And for Hallmark already.
And every time I watch this scene between the stable and the state, I notice more and more little touches. Back to the stable scene. I'm sorry, I meant to mention this earlier. I noticed it today. When Nathan goes behind Elizabeth and he's getting ready to whisper in her ear, his hand goes up her arm. Did you guys catch that?
I did.
Did you see my Dirty Dancing edit?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I got it from.
Yeah, it was, and hello.
Yeah.
They couldn't go down because that's PG-13, but we can go G so we can go up.
Yes. So thank you, Catherine. Yes. And when they're in the field and Elizabeth has her hand going down his shirt, he's just watching her. He's just watching, I love it. Keep going.
Yep.
Yes.
We're bad. We need it after dark.
Oh my goodness, friends. That date though was it was so perfect for them. It really was. They finally got their alone time, and that was more and so much better than I ever imagined as a date. Just this beautiful field, the beautiful sky, the music. It just was perfect for them just to finally have that alone time, nobody else around. We love the no dialogue.
Yeah, if you think about it this way, the stars in real life have aligned for this story, where the stars align the story, because they, of course, I mean, they have probably a little wiggle room, but not a lot for switching things around, and to get that to be your sky. And for that, it's just it's just everybody's yes, they're finally together. Okay, here you go. Here's my gift.
Yes, back to the touching. It's just so sweet. Even when they're walking in the field, they're holding
hand in hand.
Yeah.
And just how Nathan holds her, that kiss, you can tell his hands are probably around her waist, and friends, it's so good. So beautiful. I think this is probably one of the most, if not the most beautiful scene I've ever seen.
Physical touch is their love language, or one of them.
Completely. And we are so in love with it. what else I think is so beautiful is obviously we've seen the emotional intimacy, right?
Yes.
For 10 seasons.
We knew that I'll give it the 6. Yeah.
Right. We knew that they obviously have this emotional, deep, heartfelt connection, but now it's bubbling up and we get to see that translate into the physical connection and how much they just are attracted to each other. And that's just so beautiful.
Yeah, I think so too.
They had that solid foundation of friendship first and getting to know each other, their hearts and who they were as people. And now the physical expression is coming.
Yeah. I feel like it was foreshadowing that the last shot was them like riding off at the church in the background.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And they're going home together.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
they didn't leave Hope Valley, but like just that visual.
I know what you meant.
They're riding back home together.
I know some people want to like temper their expectations, but I just cannot see this season ending any other way other than some kind of commitment. I just can't.
I agree. Some, yeah.
I can't.
And let's be honest, in the real world, they wouldn't be, like this, they would have gotten married on day 1 at this rate. So yeah, it's just not realistic for so many different reasons.
Whether the wedding and marriage will happen this season or not. If the marriage is not until a season 13, which I feel pretty confident about because the show's doing well in ratings.
Yeah.
There will be a ring on Elizabeth's finger.
I agree,
I am making that call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By episode 12.
I second that for you.
I third that.
I just can't see it going any other way. I
mean, don't we just love how not only do Elizabeth and Nathan get to celebrate their relationship finally, but we get to celebrate it with them.
Yeah.
And this is only the 3rd episode.
I know.
Like you both have said, what else is coming?
Well, why don't we talk about what's coming based on what we know? So, episode 4, which is Sunday, we have Allie's birthday party, which is the dance with the Charleston, and some of the townspeople are not happy.
No.
Molly included.
Do we think it's Jed that says the no dancing spiel?
Because Molly does. You're right. It didn't. And well, Molly is. No, wasn't Molly the one who said that she didn't want any noise like after 8 p.m. when Lee became mayor?
Yeah.
So no, she there is fuddy-duddiness in her.
It's coming back.
Which is actually kind of surprising, or you forgot that it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. But let's give Molly some spice too, though.
Yeah.
I'm not saying with Jet necessarily, but let's give her something. Yeah. I mean, once again, just the fact that this is, like the kids are being celebrated. Jada's getting such.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's 5 on the call sheet for episode 4. She's 5 or 6. So that's amazing. And how much they trust her. Evidence, so yeah.
Yeah. Also, the dance in the schoolhouse with Nathan and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Gotta bring up the new photo Aaron just posted of the dip.
When I dip, you dip, we dip. Just,
you guys, that is a serious dip. Go Kevin and Aaron. They can dance.
I'm so hyped.
That's a low dip.
They will be on the floor too.
They're hitting the floor too. Yes, Catherine.
Oh my gosh.
It's just so, it's just another new layer, something unexpected to their relationship. And it's so
and beautiful. I love, while they're teasing, we know they're not teasing the whole scene because, and that, they never really have. But we've gotten almost a good chunk of I think this is going to be a longer scene than I don't think maybe it'll be a minute one, but I think because we've seen what we saw for the teaser trailer and sneak peek, and then from him walking in, and then we know based on the ones that happened right when we were in KC and everybody screamed, he's like spinning her while they're dancing, and that wasn't in this portion. So I think, and then they're obviously having Apple Juice 3.0 with conversation, or 4.0. I don't even know what Apple Juice number we're on anymore.
3.
But yeah, I think that, I'm really hoping for a good minute and a half scene of them at a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, same.
Yeah, I think it will be. We also get the Canfields. They're navigating new challenges for Angela because of all the teenagers getting ready for the dance. We get more of the mystery with Bill and Rosemary, and Lucas helps Edie at her uncle's ranch, according to the synopsis. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It seems like a whole heck of a lot to be in one episode, but I'll have faith because they managed to make it work. But their session descriptions this year, I'm just like, well, that's a whole 5-hour movie.
Right?
Yeah. I'm like, and you're doing this in 42 minutes. Got it. Alrighty then. Each one of them is intriguing in their own way, and that's such a joy. That's just so fun.
Yeah. I'm really excited for the other episodes we know of so far. So 5, when Nathan goes undercover. And I think that's when Fiona returns. And then Tiara Scobie's character comes into play. Lucas and Lee face their differences. Episode 6. Allie and Oliver discover a threat. Rosemary invites the kids to debate Lucas on the radio. I think this is when Melissa comes in. Melissa Gilbert.
She's doing 2, so she's in 5.
Okay, so 5 and 6.
5 and 6, yeah.
Elizabeth fights a cold.
Yep. Which AKA means what? Fever.
It's never just a cold.
Fever.
It's never just a cold. And
that's the one since HFR I've been looking forward to, because literally the blushing that Kevin and Aaron had when they were saying the words.
Oh, I love that you got to be there when they
I don't know if you guys could see it through the screen, but they were bright red.
Man, I love that you got to see that in person.
Who was it? I feel like someone brought up on Thursday Threads last night that maybe the coffee date is episode 6.
Oh.
Because of the title of the episode, when autumn leaves begin to fall. And maybe that's what causes Elizabeth to get the cold.
Yeah. No, very possible. Yes.
Yeah.
I just know that I just don't like waiting. I'm impatient now that I live in the Netflix world, even though that frustrates me some days too. Like, who cuts an 8-episode arc into 2 parts? Why?
Cruel.
Yeah, but it is so hard when you're just so excited for everything. But at the same time, I hope that you guys, and I think you guys are the same, is it's going to be over before we know it. So you try to just, do that balance of enjoy it as we have it. And, I mean, let's be honest, we'll be reliving it for years and years and years, but it'll last us till Kevin maybe has a Christmas movie.
Right?
Yeah. I am so excited for the coffee date.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the dancing with Elizabeth and Nathan.
Did you like me when I said the coffee date was a Starbucks coffee cup date?
Oh, I noticed.
I was like, well, of course he's walking with his hand draped over when they're undercover.
Catherine, that was awesome. That was great.
Oh my gosh.
We get 2 coffee dates.
We do. One is to go. One is a real
oh my goodness
mug.
I'm gonna stop now.
Oh my gosh.
That was awesome, Catherine.
Well, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Do you have anything else you want to share about this episode or what's to come?
Oh, Catherine, I'm with you, both of you. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Me too.
Same. And I want it to be March, but I also don't want it to be March. So that sums it up. I want it to be episode 12, but I don't want it to be episode 12.
Right.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Hearties. Well, I think that wraps up our review of When Calls the Heart, Season 12, Episode 3. If you enjoyed this episode and are watching on YouTube, you can like this video and share your thoughts about this episode and any predictions you have for the rest of the season in the comments. If you are listening on Spotify, make sure to rate and review, as your feedback is always greatly appreciated. If you want to stay up to date on all of our reviews for the rest of the season, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube or follow along on Spotify, and make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when new episodes come. You can also find the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at Swing My Heart Podcast and Twitter at Swing My Heart Pod. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. And Brennan and I will see you next week. We love y'all. Bye.
Thanks for letting me join.
Welcome.
Always.
Bye, Hearties.
Bye.